All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're breaking down 3 completely terrifying first-hand accounts to uncover some absolutely vital lessons about situational awareness, digital footprints, and your personal safety. We're treating these harrowing true stories as actual case studies, to understand exactly how vulnerability gets exploited and, more importantly, how you can protect yourself when the unthinkable happens.
So, we're kicking things off with a cold open here. Mainly because that universal, primal fear of being watched, that's exactly what connects the 3 case studies we're about to analyze. It's that sudden, chilling feeling that you're just no longer alone, even when all logic tells you that you should be perfectly safe. Let's take a look at exactly how that feeling manifests in our very first scenario.
Case 1. Terror in Room 312.
So, our story begins with an exhausted traveling salesman. It's a fall trip, and he's checking into the 3rd floor of this seemingly deserted log cabin-style hotel in Missouri. Late that night, he steps out into the hallway and actually witnesses a man flatlining on a gurney while EMTs are doing aggressive CPR. Obviously shaken, he goes back to his room, and that is exactly when an escalating sequence of unexplained intrusions kicks off. First, there are 3 soft knocks at the door. Then, the door handle slowly depresses as someone gently tests the lock, and finally, the strip of light coming from beneath the door just goes completely dark, and he hears the sound of fingers literally dragging across the wood outside.
Now, what is truly chilling about all this is how the number 3 anchors this entire nightmare. Just think about this for a second. He was staying in room 312. The medical emergency he just witnessed, that was exactly 3 doors down from him. And those terrifying knocks he heard, they always came in groups of 3. It's this bizarre pattern that really elevates the whole thing from a random creepy encounter to something deeply, deeply unsettling.
Desperate for some kind of answers, our narrator eventually opens his door, only to find a strange man, probably in his mid-40s with these unusually sunken eyes, stepping out of the very room the EMTs had just vacated. When the narrator asks him what happened, this guy just smiles and drops this chilling line. They didn't always leave immediately. And then, he just vanishes right into the stairwell.
This brilliantly illustrates the absolute height of psychological dissonance, because the next morning at 8:30 a.m., the narrator tries to make sense of all this chaos, but the front desk completely shatters his reality. The employee insists that the room 3 doors down was totally vacant. They say there was no medical emergency, and the hotel occupancy was so low that nobody matching that sunken-eyed man was even registered. I mean, was it a hallucination from pure exhaustion, an incredibly cruel prank, or just something else entirely?
Moving on to Case 2, the threat at home. Now, this case shifts from the unexplained to a highly tangible, deeply physical danger. It involves a woman named Misty and her dangerous ex-boyfriend, Paul. Despite an active restraining order, the rapid escalation here is just terrifying. On night 1, Paul actually smashes a window right next to where Misty sleeps and throws a bag of clothes inside, and it takes the police until 3 a.m. to even arrive. Then, the very next night, around 10:30 p.m., Misty goes to take the trash out and spots a dark figure slipping right into her bedroom.
Just to give you a sense of the severe psychological warfare happening here, while they were waiting those agonizing 3 hours for the police on the first night, Misty was receiving these menacing text messages from Paul. Real hostile threats, demanding items she didn't even have. It totally establishes his predatory state of mind heading into that second night.
So, after spotting that dark figure, Misty searches her apartment. Finding absolutely no one, she brushes it off and sits in her room. But then, she needs some cleaning supplies. She walks over, opens the closet door, and finds Paul. He is standing right there inside her closet, just staring blankly at her in the pitch dark. I mean, talk about a true worst-case scenario.
But here is the crucial part: how Misty reacted in that split second. She obviously went white with fear, but she demonstrated this unbelievable masterclass in remaining calm under pressure. She spoke to him completely normally. When Paul delivered this deadpan, terrifying excuse, "I just want my vape back," Misty frantically, but very discreetly, texted her roommate to call 911. Her ability to keep her cool literally prevented the situation from turning violent before the police could arrive and arrest him.
Case 3, the digital stalker.
Our final case represents a prolonged, incredibly predatory threat, showing exactly what happens when a digital stalker bleeds out into physical reality. It all started for an 18-year-old university student who got a random Instagram message from a heavy-set,
30-something stranger. They ended up playing a seemingly harmless game of truth or dare. But then, the stranger casually asked the victim how he was finding life at university. The victim's blood ran cold. How on earth did he know? The victim had never posted about his university, his campus, or even living away from his small hometown.
The persistence of a digital predator over time is honestly terrifying. The victim blocks him at age 18. 3 years later, at age 21, the stalker finds him again on Instagram and bombards him with unhinged, explicit, and hostile messages. So the victim blocks him again and goes completely private. But just weeks later, the stalker tracks down the victim's TikTok account. And get this, it was an account that didn't even use his real name.
The suspense of this multi-year digital hunt finally climaxes in the physical world. The victim is walking home alone from the train station after dinner in the city. The streets are completely quiet. Suddenly, he hears footsteps right behind him. He stops walking, and the footsteps stop too. He starts again, and the footsteps resume. He realizes in that moment, he is being hunted.
He slowly turns around under a street lamp, and his absolute nightmare becomes a reality. Standing several meters away is the man from the photos sent years prior. He perfectly recognizes the pale skin, the messy brown hair, the light blue eyes, and that heavy build. For a few agonizing seconds, the man just offers this motionless stare, before calmly greeting the victim by his first name. Thankfully, the victim immediately sprinted home and managed to lock his door just in time.
Lessons in survival.
Pulling back from these harrowing accounts, we really need to extract the core lessons here about vulnerability. We don't just want to be scared by these case studies, right? We want to actually learn from them. So here are your primary survival tactics. First, practice hyper-awareness. Just like our first narrator, who now automatically counts the doors between his hotel room and the stairwell, you need an escape plan. Second, remain calm under pressure. Misty's absolute composure is literally the only reason she safely survived a home intruder. Third, aggressively audit your digital footprint. You never know what seemingly innocent detail gives away your location. And finally, always trust your gut instinct, immediately. If a conversation feels wrong or the footsteps behind you stop when you do, don't wait around to find out why. These stories prove that threats can materialize from an empty hotel hallway, from inside your own closet, or from a forgotten Instagram message sent years ago. As you go about your day today, take a hard look at your privacy settings and constantly check your surroundings. Because the ultimate question you have to ask yourself is this: would you know what to do if you turned around and they were right behind you? Stay aware and stay safe.